So the most common takeaway flaw that I see from golfers is when their golf club, their club head, gets inside the hands or it rolls inside during the takeaway. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you one simple drill that's going to fix that movement forever, and it's easier than you think. So the reason why this takeaway is so bad for golfers is because when you get the takeaway inside, it just sets off a series of events that isn't the greatest for ball striking. Number one, the club head is too far behind us at this moment in time. Number two, once we get to lead arm parallel, the golf club is super flat here. You can see that. The butt of the golf club should be pointing at the ball line, but instead it's super flat here. And three, potentially you keep that club in a really laid off position and you steepen it coming down, causing all sorts of impact errors. You might have a lot of early extension to try and get this to work. Or the other thing that I see with this takeaway is when the golf club is moving inside early, when you start to rotate the body, that inside takeaway then flips over into an across the line position. So what ends up happening is, and I see this all the time, golfers get the club here, they keep going, and then at the top of the swing, the momentum of the club just jumps over here. Now, from here, it's really hard to hit a golf ball because a lot of golfers end up turning, steepening the club. Then they have to early extend to try and hit the golf ball, and this can lead to, as you can see, the face being open. I might hit it out to the right, or I might bottom out too early and end up hitting a lot of fat shots. So in my opinion, this takeaway is really detrimental to your game. So let's get into fixing it right now. So we need to understand the two things that are causing this golf club to whip inside. Number one is you're not getting enough vertical wrist hinge. So essentially all that is if I put my club on the ground just like this and I lift it off the ground, what I don't want to do is lift my arms. That's not what I'm saying. I want to do it with my wrists. So if I can hinge my wrists up in the air and just lift this golf club off the ground, that would be vertical wrist hinge. Now, players who get the club too far inside don't have a lot of vertical wrist hinge. The second thing that golfers do a lot is they rotate the forearms. So they're going to rotate those arms to the right for a right-handed golfer. And what this does is it rolls the club to the inside. So if we combine that with no vertical hinge and too much roll, what we're going to be left with is a swing that moves so far inside during the takeaway that we're really screwed from here. So the drill that I want you to do, and that's going to fix both of those errors that I see in the takeaway, is I want you to grab an alignment stick and I want you to place it just up the left-hand side of your golf club. And you're going to see here that I've got half the alignment stick down the club shaft and half poking out the other side. Now what we're going to do here is take your grip, and it will feel a little bit strange at the start, but what you'll notice here is this part of the alignment stick is on the left-hand side of my body. Now, if I roll the golf club, or if I don't have any vertical hinge, if I do one or two of those errors that I said about a minute ago, what's going to happen is this orange stick is going to come off the lead side of your body, and it would look like this. So very quickly, this orange stick does not stay on my body. Okay? You can see there, rolling it to the inside, that orange stick comes off. So from this down the line position, we can see if I just roll the club, you're going to see that orange stick come off straight away. So what we're looking to do is we're looking to add some vertical hinge to our takeaway position. Now, if we can do that while we turn, this alignment stick is going to stay on our left side. So I want you to do this for practice. I want you to set up to your golf ball, and I want you to just lift the club off the ground via some vertical hinge. And I want this orange stick to run down the left thigh. So it's just going to look like this. So you can see there that that stick is running down my left leg. Now obviously we need to add some turn to this, otherwise the golf club's not going to be taken away correctly. But again, on this down the line view, if I just lift this club off the ground via some vertical hinge, you're going to see there that that orange stick runs down my left leg. Now, if I can add some rotation to that, we're going to end up with a really nice takeaway position. And what you can see here is there's been no roll to the inside. I've got enough vertical hinge to set the club in front of me, and this orange stick is still touching my lead leg. And that's a great feel to stop you from rolling that club to the inside. So from this face-on view, if I add some turn to that vertical hinge, we're going to see that that's a really simple way to stop that real rolly takeaway to the inside. Now, once we've worked on that for a while with the alignment stick, we're going to take it away, set up to a golf ball, and give this a go. So I would start off nice and small, nice and slow, so you can understand the movement. So we get set up to our ball, have some practice swings, imagining, using your mind's eye, to imagine that that alignment stick was still down the butt end of the golf club and it would still be running down that lead thigh. Obviously, make sure to check that that club's not rolling to the inside, because as you can see here, the alignment stick would be off my left thigh. So now what we'd be able to do with our swing is, once that takeaway is in a decent spot, as long as we keep turning and hinging correctly in the backswing, you're going to see that that golf club is now set in a really good spot. The butt end of the golf club is now pointing at the bowl line, versus before, when you rolled that club to the inside and kept going, you're going to see that the butt end of that golf club is pointing too flat, essentially, too far on the outside of that bowl line. So the takeaway is really crucial in getting the golf swing into a really good position in the backswing. So better takeaway, better P3 position, lead arm parallel, will give me a really good opportunity to strike the ball quite nicely. So let's give this a go. Nice and slow to start off with until I've learnt the movement to add a little bit more speed. So I might just start off with something like a pause swing. And again, if I was to check on camera what that looked like, I think that would be in a pretty good spot. Now, as you add speed, you will absolutely start to revert back to the familiar movement that you normally make. But that's why I recommend starting off quite slow, doing these movements without too much of a care about impact or how the golf ball's moving towards the target. So if we give this a bit of a faster swing now, really feeling this, and I'm going to have to really feel like I hinge the golf club immediately when I take it away. A little bit of a thin shot there, just purely because it felt a little bit strange to me. This is one of my flaws as well, so really feel that hinge. So that was a much better strike there. So that's how I would fix that inside rolly takeaway. And all we've done is we've added some vertical hinge. And by adding that vertical hinge, we've stopped the forearms rotating to the right. So as you can see there, vertical hinge will help the forearms stay a little bit more on this side versus rolling the club with no vertical hinge. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I reckon you could even enjoy the one that's on the screen a little bit more. The one that's on the screen is my most viewed video with 1.2 million views, and golfers all around the world have been working on their games from that video alone. If you want more from me, I have my online academy ready to go, so join that and I'll see you in there.